Do you ever scroll for hours and then hate yourself after? Same. Here's the thing, your phone is not the problem. Your dopamine system is. Welcome back to Trying My Best podcast. Today's episode is called Trying My Best to Fix My Dopamine. Okay, first let's identify the problem that all of us face. We feel overstimulated and anxious because of this constant need to grab our phones. We feel like we can't enjoy the simple things anymore. You realize that you have so many hobbies that you used to love, like basketball, baking, or reading, but you haven't done those in so long because you are stuck in this doom scrolling cycle. Or even worse, you are struggling from a shorter attention span. You feel like you cannot focus on work anymore, and just 10 minutes into your study session, you need a break, so you start grabbing your phone to open Instagram or TikTok. Don't worry though, because you are not alone in this problem. Whenever I had a full day to study, I would always ruin it within the first hour without even realizing. I would be eating breakfast and I would grab my phone because everybody knows that you need a good video to pair with a meal, right? But then I would end up brushing my teeth and getting ready as I was watching my phone. Now, it didn't feel like a big deal at first, but the whole day after that, I was so unfocused. I would pretend to be productive, I'd be trying to work on my essay or some homework, but then I would have a YouTube video on the side in the background. My brain needed constant stimulation. Boredom felt painful and silence felt uncomfortable. I didn't know it then, but I was training my brain to only function when there was something exciting. And real life and hard work is not always going to be exciting and stimulating. And so I kept procrastinating. Then I finally tried a dopamine detox. No social media before 4 p.m. As soon as I woke up, I went on a run with no music. It was just me and my brain. And honestly, just the first day, I felt such a big difference. For the first time in months, I could hear my own thoughts again. I wasn't overstimulated and I actually felt calm. And that's when I realized I wasn't lazy. My brain was just addicted to dopamine. Now, there's a reason why this is happening. Even though scrolling is enjoyable, it's actually making us less and less happy over time. It makes us forget how to be alone with our thoughts. Now, I mentioned dopamine many times in this video already, but what dopamine actually is it's a hormone, and it is released in the anticipation and during something enjoyable. Now, obviously, every time you experience a dopamine high, a low will follow. And because of this, we never want to stop doing what is enjoyable to maintain that high. That's why we binge eat. That's why we cannot stop scrolling. But of course, the higher you go, the lower you will have to become. So obviously, when a math homework gets tricky or when your workout becomes tiring, your brain is going to want to reach for your phone. It wants something so it can escape the challenge and it can escape the low. Basically, what you're doing when you keep feeding yourself with these short form content is you're training your brain to get used to the highs. And short form content is even worse than just the internet because it is literally limitless. You could scroll for a whole day or even multiple days and you wouldn't even reach an end. It's fueling the problem. And the way that these issues are manifesting in your life is probably in ways always feeling the need to reach for your phone. You want to avoid boring tasks. You have a brain fog. You can't really think properly. You can't finish books or tasks that require a lot of time. And your reward system is fried. Now, with 2025 coming to an end, it is the perfect time to reset your dopamine system. And here's how we're going to do that. Number one is as soon as you wake up, go for as long as you can without your phone. If you have a really bad addiction, maybe start with 30 minutes to an hour. And essentially, what you want to be able to do is go through the whole day without scrolling on short form content. Number two is remove toxic apps from your home screens. Now, obviously, I don't want to brand specific apps as toxic because there's always a pro and con to everything. But the apps that you are reaching for when you feel bored, things like TikTok, Instagram, just put a time limit on them or delete it from your home screen. Which brings me on to my third point, which is set a screen time limit and make sure that someone else has the password. So I have a screen time limit on a lot of my social media apps, but I know the password, so I just ignore the screen time limit essentially, which is really stupid. Number 4 is to create a focus with no social media apps or no notifications. This is one of the most helpful things I've ever done to battle my phone addiction. Basically, for iPhone users, there's a thing called Focus, which basically is kind of like a variation of your home screen and lock screen. If you customize a focus and make sure that none of your social media apps are on there and or notifications are silenced, then it really helps get rid of that distraction. And number 5 is to charge your phone far away from your bedroom or your workspace. For me, this has just been something I've been doing since forever. I don't really remember ever charging my phone in my bedroom. It's important that your bedroom is somewhere that is for rest only. And of course, if you're gonna be working and really concentrating, your phone is going to be such a huge distraction, so remove that from your environment. And lastly, I want to end this video on the note that you're not lazy, because these apps on your phones are literally programmed by psychologists and neuroscientists and marketing geniuses to be the most addictive it can be. Your brain is overstimulated. It is crying for help. And I'm so glad and thankful that you watched this video until the end and you're taking action in fixing this with me together. We're in this journey together, and of course, until next time, keep trying your best because that's more than enough.